Hello, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for joining us for our second on-demand webinar of 2018. Today, we'll be going over the 5 basic phases of project management. And by the end of this webinar, you'll fall in love with your project management process all over again. So a quick introduction for those of you not familiar with us. PI has been helping teams work better together for over 15 years. And as we like to say, project management is dead, and we're reinventing it. Our project management software was named Best Project Management Solution at the 2018 SIA Cody Awards, and we were recently featured in Inc. magazine. We're the first project management solution that grows with your team, offering free solutions all the way up to enterprise. And your team never has to outgrow a project management system again. Instead, you can upgrade as your business matures. So with that said, my name is Alexa, and I'll be your moderator for today. I'm on the marketing team here at Project Insight, and if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to reach me at alexa.ortega-mendoza@projectinsight.com. And our presenter for today is Margaret Campbell, our PI champion who has all the insight about projects and PI. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you.
Yeah, and on today's agenda, we'll be going over the process of directing and controlling a project from start to finish, which can be divided into 5 basic phases, and PI's solution to delivering projects on time and on budget. So some of the benefits of today's webinar will include learning the purpose of the 5 phases of project management from initiation to project close, learning how to foster team engagement by simplifying the project management process into a series of manageable steps, and understanding the importance of project structure. So with that, let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you. So we did some digging, and we're about to drop some knowledge about project management. Here we go. These quick stats were aggregated and published by Capterra. First stat is fewer than 1/3 of all projects were successfully completed on time and on budget in the past year.
Can you believe that? Yikes.
Well, but to put that into some context, high-performing organizations successfully completed 89% of their projects, while the low performers completed only 36%.
Well, I wonder what could be a contributing factor to project success. You know, I think the secret sauce might be project management software.
That might be where we're headed, yes. So over 1 in 3 projects have no baseline. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what a baseline is, it includes the original scope, cost, and schedule, and it's used to measure how performance deviates from your original plan. So the baseline, my friend, leaves us to the 5 phases of project management. Excellent. So the process of directing and controlling projects from start to finish starts with 1, project conception and initiation. During this phase, the decision-making team identifies if the project can be realistically completed. This is the talk it out, vet it out, do we choose to do it phase. Then their phase 2 is project definition and planning. A project plan is put into place, and the team calculates budget and a schedule, and they determine what resources are needed. And then the third phase is project launch. And at this point, the resources, tasks are distributed. People know, hey, it's time to get started. This is also when you'd snap a baseline. You know, your original baseline is sort of what we thought if everything went perfectly. And this is a good time to bring up any important project-related information with all the people who will be involved. Number 4 is project performance and control. So at this part, the project is moving forward, and we compare the project statuses and the project to the actual plan. During this phase, PMs may need to adjust their schedule or do what's necessary because we're trying to keep the project plan on track. Then once we've finished all the work, it's time for the project close. The project tasks are completed, clients have approved it, we've gotten sign-off from all the stakeholders, and an evaluation is necessary to highlight project success and review lessons learned.
Awesome. And for those of you interested, we've actually published a blog about the 5 basic phases of project management, which we have so kindly linked in the article on this page for those of you interested in reading more.
Excellent. So let's talk tools. Think about what your team is using to track projects. Right now, is it Excel or a low-end tool, or are you using sticky notes?
I hope it's not sticky notes.
Well, I'm going to drop some more knowledge from Capterra. Get this. 44% of project managers use no software, even though it's been found that project management software increases performance and satisfaction.
Now that doesn't make sense, right?
Well, let's show you a little bit about some of the samples of what I mean here for the 5 phases. So the first phase we already talked about was project conception. So in a tool like Project Insight, you have 2 choices depending on whether it's internal, like a project request form, or external, meaning that you're trying to do work for a client. And that would be an example of the project proposal on the right here. So you can scope out how much things will cost and determine if you want to move forward with the statement of work. Whereas with the project request form, you can gather certain information about, should we do the project for IT? Should we do the project for marketing? That one's the more of, the internal factors of which project should we move forward with. So Project Insight or other tools can give you that visualization into what that looks like.
Yeah, makes sense.
Then you get to the project definition. So this is where you start assigning resources. You can use Project Insight's intelligent scheduling. You can see a sample project plan in the background there where we're doing the planning and control phase in the project plan itself, like identifying industry standards, maybe even developing the primary plan schedule and staff it. The idea is that you could use a project template in Project Insight to save on the reinventing of the wheel every single time. If you've got a project that follows similar steps, you can launch it in PI using something that's already worked in the past.
Hey, Margaret, and for those of us who don't know what intelligent scheduling is, can you just give us a little rundown?
For sure. That's where it's not just a list of tasks of, hey, we want to make sure that you do all this stuff before you consider the project finished. Project Insight takes it one step further and says, first comes this task, then comes this task. And by linking all of these tasks together, you can determine that if I make a change all the way up here at the top of the schedule, it's going to change every other date that follows afterward and eventually impact the final date of when we can deliver the project deadline.
Awesome. Cool.
So after you've done that, you've got this perfect schedule. It's time to project launch. So this is when you kick off with the client, or you just tell everybody internally that, hey, it's time that I'm making the project active in Project Insight. So now it's going live. People are going to receive their task assignments, and we can actually start to move forward with the project work.
Very cool.
We talked about phase 4 was project performance and control. We've got to pay close attention to how are the dates moving around on us and how are the hours being applied. So if you have team members who are telling you, I thought that this was going to take 8 hours, but it's actually taking me 10 or 12, you can use Project Insight to give you those accomplished hours, planned hours, any sort of earned value or planned value calculations to help make sure that you're on time, on budget, and if you have to make some adjustments between now and the end of the project, you might be able to catch up a little bit on some of that work.
Cool. And can you just explain to us a little bit about planned value versus earned value?
For sure. So planned value is the point that you thought you were going to be at the project plan given your original estimates. And then earned value is where you actually are based on what tasks you've checked off along the way.
Got it. Got it. Cool.
And then last is the project close. So it's funny, PMI actually says that the project closed is the most important phase and the phase that's often the most missed, that projects just sort of get assumed that we're done wrapping everything up, when really we have to make sure that we've done an official project close and that all the stakeholders are aware that this project is finished and we're not doing any more work on it. So in Project Insight, we have a couple of ways that we do this. First of all, you could build that into your schedule, making sure that all the necessary people are on that task and provide their sign-off. And then we also have sections in the project status page that can help us with our closeout, our lessons learned. What did we learn from this project that can help us and improve the templates for next time? And just taking a couple of minutes to make sure that you've closed a project out will help make sure that every other project that uses a similar template can benefit from all this work that you did.
Awesome. And how does PI know when a project is officially closed? What indicators do they use?
Sure. So internally, when we do an implementation with clients, we have a project closeout section of our project that involves sending out a survey to the clients and saying, hey, how did you like the way that we implemented Project Insight with you? And when we get that back, we're able to do a lessons learned with each of our clients and make sure that we know, hey, this went really well, and this is what we can improve for next time.
That's cool. That works out. So, any conclusions that you have, Margaret, about the 5 basic phases of project management?
For sure. Yeah, so we know that running successful projects can be hard, and so we've got your back at every stage of this. Whether you're running a full enterprise or just with our entry-level product, we have virtual and real PI pros that can make sure you're successful.
That's great. Yeah, and like Margaret was saying, we love hearing success stories from people that use our solution. Our software isn't just for large organizations. Don't let the term project management scare you. Our software is meant for everyone, and that's why we created our 3 platforms to meet everyone's needs, no matter what stage of business that you're at. So we can tell you all about the cool things that PI does, but why not try it for free and sign up for a PI team? So a big thanks to Margaret, our PI champ, for spending time with us today and giving us this insight. And we just have a few more slides for those of you still on. For those of you on social media, we'd like to invite you to follow, like, and subscribe to our social media channels. You can also find us on all social platforms, including Facebook, Twitter at Project Insight. And in our Project Insight community, you'll be able to sign up for your next on-demand webinar or watch videos from our robust video archive. And you'll also be able to sign up for a free trial of our software. Or if you'd like to get more information, go ahead and click the Request Demo button or explore our website. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we hope you'll tune in for our next webinar. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.